Your roof is sitting in the sun right now, baking, and every single degree of heat it absorbs is getting pushed straight into your home. So your AC kicks on, your meter spins, your bill goes up, and you pay it, like you always do. Because nobody ever told you that the exact same roof, with $200 worth of material from any hardware store, can pull free drinking water straight out of thin air and cool your home at the same time. No compressor, no electricity, no bill, ever. And the reason you never heard about this has nothing to do with the technology not working. It has everything to do with who loses money the moment you find out it does. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to have the complete step-by-step to build this yourself. And you are going to understand exactly why 12 American states made it illegal to collect the water falling out of your own sky. Welcome to the Fix Vault. This channel exists for one reason: to show you the things that billion-dollar industries have spent real money making sure you never find out. If that sounds like something that matters to you, subscribe right now, because what we cover here does not stay quiet forever. Now let us talk about where this technology actually comes from, because it did not start in a lab. It started in one of the driest places on Earth, the Sahara Desert. A group of people called the Berbers had no rivers nearby, no wells deep enough, no rain for months at a time, and yet they survived for thousands of years, in temperatures that would kill most people within days. How? They watched the fog. Every morning before sunrise, fog would roll in off the Atlantic, and the Berbers noticed that certain plants, certain rocks, certain surfaces were always wet, even when it had not rained in months. These surfaces were pulling water directly out of the air. So the Berbers did what every great engineer throughout history has done. They copied nature. They built angled mesh surfaces on their rooftops designed specifically to catch fog droplets and channel them into storage. 1 square meter of the right mesh surface can collect between 3 and 10 liters of water per day, without rain, without a pump, without a single watt of electricity. And here is where it gets interesting, because pulling water from fog is only half of what this roof does. When fog hits a surface and condenses into water, something happens to the air around it. The temperature drops. Because condensation, the process of vapor turning to liquid, releases heat energy outward, away from the surface. And if you design your roof correctly, you can channel that cooled air down into the rooms below. This is the part that hurts the people selling you a $3,000 AC unit. Because a roof that simultaneously collects free water and drives cooled air into your home without any mechanical parts is a roof that does not need the AC industry. It does not need the water company, and it does not need to send a bill to anyone. Now, I want to be straight with you, because this channel does not do hype. We do facts, and the facts here matter. Fog collection works best in coastal areas: the Pacific Northwest, Atlantic coastline, Great Lakes region, and across large parts of northern and western Europe. In drier interior states, fog is less consistent. But here is what most people miss. You do not need fog every day. You need fog on enough days to keep your storage full. And in most of these regions, that threshold is easily crossed. MIT researchers studied this directly. They found that standard window screen mesh collected measurable water from fog events. But when they switched to a specialized three-dimensional mesh design, water collection jumped by 500%. 500. Same fog, same conditions, just a better surface. And the cooling effect followed exactly the same curve. Better surface design meant more condensation. More condensation meant more heat pulled away from the air. More heat pulled away meant cooler air flowing into the building below. The Fog Quest organization has installed these systems in Chile, Ethiopia, Nepal, Morocco, and Guatemala. They documented collection rates of up to 200 liters of water per day from a single 40 square meter panel. 200 liters per day. from air that looks completely empty to the naked eye. So why is nobody in America doing this? Why is every house in the suburbs still running a compressor and paying a water bill like there is no other option? In the 1920s, Carrier Corporation invented mechanical air conditioning, and they were very smart about what they did next. They did not just sell a product, they sold a belief system. Their marketing campaigns explicitly told Americans that mechanical cooling was modern, that passive cooling was primitive. A 1930 Carrier engineering manual dismissed condensation cooling and natural ventilation as suitable only for cellars and food storage, not for modern homes, not for modern people. And that framing worked. By the time post-war America was building suburbs by the millions, passive cooling had been almost completely removed from architectural education. Contractors learned mechanical systems. Building codes were written around mechanical systems. And the water collection side of this story has its own chapter. In 12 American states right now, there are active legal restrictions on atmospheric water collection. 12 states. The water companies lobbied for those restrictions. Because a roof that fills your tank for free is a customer that does not pay a monthly bill. These laws are publicly documented. You can look them up. They exist. And they exist because someone decided your access to free water was a threat to their quarterly earnings. But here is what they cannot do. They cannot change the physics. They cannot make condensation stop working. And they cannot stop you from understanding exactly how to build this. So let us get into the build. The system has 3 components: the collection surface, the drainage channel, and the passive cooling duct. The collection surface is where everything begins. Standard window screen mesh collects some water, but not nearly enough. What you want is polypropylene shade cloth with between 35 and 45% shade factor. This specific density has been tested across multiple research installations and consistently outperforms both tighter and looser weaves. The reason is airflow. Too tight and fog droplets bounce off. Too loose and they pass straight through. 35 to 45% is the sweet spot where fog slows down just enough to leave its water behind. This mesh costs between 40 and 60 cents per square foot at any agricultural supply store. For 150 square feet, you are looking at $60 to $90 total, mounted at an angle between 35 and 50 degrees from horizontal. Field testing has consistently shown this angle maximizes both water capture and airflow direction. You build a simple frame from treated 2x4 lumber or standard electrical conduit. Attach it to the existing roof structure with lag bolts into the rafters. In most jurisdictions, this qualifies as a shade structure or ventilation screen and does not require a permit. Below the mesh along the full bottom edge, you install a standard vinyl rain gutter. Water drips off the mesh, collects in the gutter, and runs by gravity into a storage tank. A 500-gallon polyethylene tank costs between $200 and $300 new. Position it below the collection gutter, and the entire water side runs on gravity alone. No pump, no electricity, just water going downhill the way it always has. Now, here is where you add the cooling. As fog condenses on the mesh, the air temperature directly behind the panel drops between 4 and 8 degrees Fahrenheit compared to ambient air on the other side. You install a low-profile intake vent directly behind the mesh at the base of the frame. That cooled air gets directed down into the wall cavity below. Cut a simple floor-level return vent inside the room you want to cool. Cool air enters at the top. Warm air escapes at the bottom and rises through the wall cavity to exit at the ridge vent. This creates a continuous thermal siphon, the same principle the ancient Persians used in their wind towers 3,000 years ago. Except now it is built into a fog collection roof that is simultaneously filling your water tank. Total material cost for the complete system sits between $200 and $350. 1 weekend of work. Basic carpentry skills: a drill, a circular saw, standard lumber, and a gutter kit. No contractor. No permit in most cases. No monthly bill from anything this system produces. Now the honest answer, on scale, because I want to give you real expectations. On a mild coastal morning with fog present, the temperature reduction inside a well-designed installation reaches 10 to 15 degrees in the space below the panel. That is the difference between sleeping through the night and running AC until sunrise. On a 100-degree day in Phoenix with no fog, this system alone is not replacing your AC unit. What it will do is dramatically cut the hours your mechanical system has to run. The University of Nottingham published findings showing passive cooling integration reduced total mechanical cooling energy use by up to 75% in properly designed buildings. 75%. On the average American household, that translates to between $400 and $900 saved every single summer. And the water collection produces between 40 and 200 liters per day depending on fog frequency at your location. Drinking water, irrigation water, water for animals, every drop free, from air that was going to float over your house anyway. Maintenance on this system is 2 tasks. Rinse the mesh with a garden hose every 60 to 90 days. Check the gutter connection to the tank once per season. That is it. No refrigerant, no compressor, no service contract, no technician, no waiting on hold because your AC died on the hottest day of July. The system has 0 moving parts. It does not break. It does not degrade. It just works. The Berbers figured this out with nothing but observation. MIT confirmed the physics in a controlled lab. FogQuest proved the scale across 3 continents. And 12 American state legislatures proved whose side they are on by making it harder for you to collect water out of your own sky. The technology works. The physics is real. The cost is low enough that almost anyone can build it this weekend. And the only thing standing between you and a cooler home and a full water tank is the decision to actually do it. On the Fix Vault, this is what we do every single video. We find the things that work, cost almost nothing, and that powerful industries have spent real money making sure you never think about too seriously. Subscribe right now. Share this with one person who is tired of paying for things that should be free. And do not go anywhere, because the next video covers something sitting directly beneath your feet right now, 6 feet underground, locked at 55 degrees year-round. The Germans have been using it since the 1990s to eliminate cooling bills entirely. Your building code pretends it does not exist. And we are going to show you exactly how to build it yourself. That video drops very soon, and you are going to want to be here when it does.